Okay, today we are extending our lesson on circle graphs, and what you are going to be able to do today, I guess it's part of analyzing central angles, but your main learning target today is you can figure out a central angle and graph a circle graph with given central angles. So this is a very accurate description on a student survey that asks students, hey, wonder what your favorite subject is. And it looks to me like 15% like science, 45% of kids like math, 30% like FIAD, and 10% like English. Well, that seems very accurate, right? Math tends to be the favorite subject of all, is what I am assuming. But I need to, given this data from this very accurate survey, I need to create a circle graph. So I want to know, how big is my science section, also known as sector, part of a circle. So I do part is to whole as percent is to 100. If you use the strategy we taught you on Friday that you watched, you could do 15% times 360. That's always easier, but I'm in such a proportion mode, I just deal with the proportion. So I would say part of my angle measure is to all of my angles, 360. As part of my percent, 15, is to all of my percent. And then I would go 15 times 360 divided by 100 is 54 degrees. So my science section or sector is going to be 54 degrees. My math section or sector, well, part of my degrees is to all the degrees, 360. As part of my percent, 45 is to all of my percent, 100. So 360 times 45 divided by 100. And that is 162 degrees is the math sector. And FIAD, part of the FIAD degree is to the whole circle, 360. As part of the FIAD percent, 30, is to the whole percent, 100. So 360 times 30 divided by 100 is 108 degrees. And lastly, for little English, only 10%. So we do x is to 360 as 10 is to 100. So 36 times 10 divided by 100 is 36 degrees. Oh man. And now before I start graphing, because that's when it's going to start to get really crazy. You don't want to go through all that work to find out that you did your proportion wrong or did something wrong. So before I start graphing, I personally like to add all these together. And what should they be close to? Yeah, I should get right around 360. As long as I didn't round. You might have to round today, and you might be a little off, but that I would be okay with that. So 54 plus 162 plus 108 plus 36 is 360 degrees. So I know all my parts are right. Now creating them. So, just a little refresher on how to use a protractor. You want to always make sure you have a radius. And then you line the center up. And I always line it up with that line. Okay, my line on the bottom of my protractor lines up with my radius. And then I want to make my science sector, which is 54 degrees. This is where kids I see struggle. They're like, well, which number do I use, the top or the bottom? And what I like to do is tell them to think about it logically. If you were going like this, is this 10 degrees or 170 degrees? This would be 10. So that tells me, don't draw this, that tells me I use the bottom. That's just what I think at first. I always just kind of envision, okay, yep, 10 degrees would be the one I use, so I use the bottom numbers. So now I'm going to go to 54. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 54, approximately right there. You grab your straight edge, best that you can. And this is going to be my science sector. And now math, the most important one of them all, as we can see by degree measures, needs to be 162 degrees. So now what you do, you tilt your protractor, you still go to the center, you line that line up with the line you just made, and now I go to, what am I going to? 162 degrees. So it looks like I'm looking at the bottom. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 2 is approximately right there. And then you take your straight edge and you connect it. Use a pencil to help you. And then this, of course, is math, the best subject of them all. Clearly, look at how big the sector is. Now I need to do Phi Ed. So again, I tilt my protractor, I align it with the center, I align the line with the last line I made. That's a lot of line words. So my last sector line, I align the protractor bottom line with that. Now I need 108. So 10, 20, 30, 40, looking at the bottom ones. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 108 would be approximately right there. So, been connected.
Oh no, glitching.
I'm a little off, oh well. Without a straight edge, it's okay, I'm okay. And then, so what's this? This is Phi Ed. I would also like you to put in there, just so I know your degree measures, like put 54 degrees, 162 degrees. Phi Ed is 108 degrees. Now I'm just going to check. I'm just double checking that my English section should be really close to 36. It is not going to be perfect unless I left out, because I didn't have a straight edge, and chances are I might have, the dots are really close together, the dashes. Maybe I did the one before or after. So I might be a little off, and that's okay. You're not going to erase your whole circle if you're a little off. So now I'm going to measure this degree, and just to make sure that I'm right at that 36, or right around. So 35, hey, look at that. This is 10, 20, 30, 35. And look at this sector. I'm really close. I did a really good job. Pretty proud of myself. I'm usually about 2 behind. So and this would be English with 36 degrees. And that's your learning target today. You can create central angles in a circle graph.